Hi Virgo, it's Sloan Rhodes here with your Life Purpose, Career, and Money reading for April 2020, or whenever you happen to be listening or watching this recording or this reading. Remember that all of my YouTube videos are available in audio format and there are links below. Let's go ahead and get started. This is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Today I'm drawing one card from the Money and the Law of Attraction deck by Esther and Jerry Hicks. One card from the Life Purpose deck by Doreen Virtue, 3 cards from the Power Tarot, and then 1 card from the Money Tarot by Eugene Vinitsky. And then 1 additional card looking at what's going on behind the scenes for you during this time period from Tarot of the New Vision. Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Beautiful Earth sign. I do have some meditation recordings up as well if you are looking for some nice calming meditations. They're on the playlist here on YouTube as well as available to download for free on my podcast. Links are below. I also have the spiritual guidance for the month recordings up if you haven't seen those yet. Okay, Virgo. My what is need not influence my what is becoming. And then under the deck, I have control over the thoughts I think. You hold the key, Virgo, to your mind. Your mind is a beautiful tool, but it often tells stories that aren't real. They feel real, right? You have the ability to control that. You have the ability to recognize that what isn't always true, because what is reflects what was, not what is now becoming. If that makes sense. Let me repeat that. Oftentimes, what we see is what was. It's not what is, because what is a new vibratory field that is becoming manifest. So sometimes it can be confusing because you're doing all this work, spiritual work, whatever, and you're like, but my exterior hasn't changed yet. But it's not about the exterior, it's about what's changed within. And then the vibration creates the manifestation. So remember that sometimes, because it can get frustrating, and you can be like, I want to see the evidence, right? But the need to see the evidence sometimes is what slows down the manifestation of it. So something to think about, something to play with and consider here. Oops, sorry. My phone. Turn that off. Okay. I'll show you the card. My what is need not influence my what is becoming. I think I spoke to that already pretty clearly. And I have control over the thoughts that I think. It's hard sometimes. We talk about the mind, the ego, our thoughts, and anyone can say, well, just don't follow your thoughts, or don't believe them. But the ego is very powerful, and it feels very, very real. And it's not easy to recognize when we're caught up in the ego, or even if we do recognize it, it doesn't necessarily immediately change the feeling of being in it, right? So never underestimate how difficult it can be to transcend the thoughts and the ego's power over our thoughts, right? So be easy with yourself. Be gentle. Release the self-judgment that somehow you should have been better or not done it or all of that. And just know that everything is working out beautifully just as it's meant to for you and for everyone. We have 2 6s here, which is really nice. Overcoming difficulty. 33, I have control over my thoughts. 42, my what is need not influence my what is becoming. Both 6s. Lovely, lovely energy of transcending those difficulties. The instability in the very recent past, but no longer feeling it so deeply here in what we consider the present. All right, let me get 1 card from the Life Purpose deck. Virgo, here we go. Leadership and options. I feel like this is in the recent past. Consider the career possibilities that are open to you. I feel like this has been going on for a while for many Virgos. Consider, and there may be a Libra person who's also involved in your life. Consider the career possibilities that are open to you, and she's holding the scale. I think that has been going on for a while and may continue even during this particular time frame, but the instability of that is in the past, and this is under the deck, so I feel like it's also in the past. Now you're being asked to, now you're in more of that 6 energy of being more in the spotlight, having overcome difficulties, being able to offer something that you consider grounded in the experience that is valuable or useful for others. Taking that leadership position. Take charge of this situation, whatever it may be for you. It's going to be different for everybody, but I'll tell you one thing. For universally, it's a time of feeling as though there is instability, or that we are at the mercy of the vicissitudes of this global pandemic, right? But we can always take charge, right? You have control. I have control over the thoughts that I think. Take charge of this situation. In your grounded nature, what you know to be true. Virgo's an earth sign, very practical. Very analytical, but also very practical. Knowing what works and what doesn't. Recognizing when you can see what is working for yourself in your own environment or in the lives of others and say, you know what, I can see a better way. I know how to do that. I have the resources through my experience, my skills, my knowledge to offer you or to tell you or to show you how to do things differently or how to ease out of the situation, whatever it may be. Very, very nice energy. It may be, too, that there are children involved who you are guiding and leading during this time frame. And you do have the skills, Virgo. You do know. You've been weighing your options. You've been considering, what do I do next? What's the best way to move forward? What's the best way to showcase and to showcase my skills, my deep knowing, my wisdom, my heart-centered energies? How is it best to do this? There's so much instability. What do I do? How do I do it? I feel like that might run through this time period, but it looks like there's a huge emphasis on that already having occurred, and during this particular time frame, being encouraged to, you know what, recognizing, I know how to do this. I can do this. Sometimes, we look at things and we're like, someone ought to take care of that. And then you look around and you're like, oh, I guess it's me. I need to take care of that, or I'm the one who's the most skilled or most present or most available in this moment. So it's not about taking charge of your whole career right now or your whole sense of purpose. It's about in the moment recognizing where you can take charge of whatever it may be. There's a dish on the counter. I can take charge of that. It seems silly to make that analogy between your whole sense of purpose in the world and a dish on the counter, but rather than getting fed up in your mind, right? No one appreciates me. They just expect me to pick up the cup. Say you're home with your family. They're also lazy, or they're taking advantage of me. Your thoughts spiral very, very quickly into the feeling of being a victim in some way. Or you can say, you know what? I'm going to take care of that cup. I'm either going to take care of it and put it where it needs to be, or I'm going to take care of the situation and say, oh, I think you've made a mistake. You left your cup on the counter, and I'd appreciate it if you put it away, whatever. You take care of it. Take a leadership role. You're showing others how to be by the way that you are, It's very empowering for others as well as for yourself. Because it shows people, wow, that's possible in the world. To be very direct, to be very practical. Without being snarky, I say that because I have control over the thoughts that I think. Okay, so let's get some additional cards, Virgo. And it may be that in April, this is a month where you are just getting more ready to take a leadership role. It may not fully come to fruition or culmination during this particular time frame, but I feel like here, very quiet contemplation, and then here she's kind of looking up and she's beginning to see the light, be guided, being drawn to something. So it may not fully come in yet, because we have this what is becoming, my what is need not influence my what is becoming. So this leadership feeling, this desire even to somehow be in the spotlight, to somehow lead by example, to somehow showcase your skills, to somehow help others in some way, is getting stronger and stronger within you. Okay, so let's get 3 cards from the Archangel Power Tarot. And my number is 8. So we have the Emperor in reverse. We have the 8 of Raphael, moving on. We have the 10 of Gabriel. And then under the deck we have the 2 of Ariel. I mean, if that's not the identical card, right? The juggling, the back and forth, the options. Which one, right, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, here he is balancing. Okay, that's under the deck. All right, so we have the Emperor in reverse. This may be why you are being asked to take the leadership role, because when the Emperor's in reverse, he's not, I say he, it's an Emperor card, it's not doing it very well. Could be you, could be someone else. That person may be ill-equipped to lead for whatever reason during the time frame that this is taking place in. Could be the recent past, could be throughout this reading, this time frame. But when the Emperor is in reverse, that individual is either ruling with the overly authoritarian type of feel, or could also be just very sloppy in their approach and ill-equipped to handle it. This is why you are being asked here, take charge of this situation. For whatever reason, the other person is not. Or maybe it's just been you who's kind of not focused on doing that. All right, and then we have the 8 of Raphael. There is something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you, a spiritual quest. And 10 of Gabriel, kind of possibly as we go towards the end of this time frame. Ask your angels for helpful people to lighten your load, working too many hours, trying too hard to please others. Very important for Virgos. Virgos want to be of service very badly, and you can be of best service by making sure that you are giving from a place that's full, right? From a place where you feel the vitality, you feel the inspiration, you feel the energy. Not when you are trying to scrape the bottom of the barrel that's not helping anybody. You might as well just go home and rest, because your skills are valuable and they're best utilized when you are well rested and well cared for by self. All right, so you may feel that way by the end of the month with the 10 of Gabriel, that you're just carrying a lot on yourself, or it may be that you are just beginning to recognize, I'm going to give some of these wands that I'm carrying over now. I'm going to put them on the ground, and I'm going to say, you know what, people, take them. Take your share of the responsibility here. You're taking charge of the situation with the leadership. The leadership card doesn't mean that you are carrying the burden all by yourself. That's not being a leader, that's being a martyr. You are moving on. The 8 of Raphael is all about the spiritual quest, all about moving on. My what is need not influence my what is becoming. You are definitely in process here, Virgo. And it may not come to fruition, as I said, during this time frame. but that's okay. It takes the time it needs, but you are already getting whispers of it. You're already getting the sense of it. It's feeling. You've already taken that step, either metaphorically or actually, by taking charge of the situation, by taking control over your thoughts, by recognizing that what is what was, the older patterning, the old vibration. It doesn't influence what is becoming. It doesn't change the new manifestations that are being born. Let's take a look at your money. Now remember, you may feel with this card, take charge of the situation, of this situation. It may create stress within you. What if I'm not taking charge? Is it all going to go to hell? No, it won't. You're being asked to take charge of whatever situation is in front of you in the moment. You don't have to save the world right here, Virgo. Take charge of what's present for you now. This is why I brought the analogy of the cup, right? The cup can represent everything. How you take control of that situation is representative of every other kind of situation. We tend to think of only the big moments as being important, but to the all that is, there are no bigs and smalls. The energy of each moment is the energy of each moment. No matter what our mind or our ego tells us is big or small. What's going on for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising with their money? We have the Four of Swords, and then we have the Two of Wands under the deck. So it looks like there's definitely around your money. There's good communication here. There has been. Maybe you're working with another around your money, and it's flowing well back and forth. That's all good. And in this particular time frame with the Four of Swords around your money, let it rest, right? We have stability here. You're stable, you're secure. Rest easy in that knowledge. Don't try to overcompensate. Don't try to spend too much. This is a restful time. So your mind might interpret that as like, I'm not seeing any additional income. I better work harder, right? Trying too hard to please others, working too many hours. Is too draining for you. And it's too draining for what is to come, right? This is you lead from a place of strength, right? Again, you don't want to be a martyr here. So around your money with the Four of Swords, let it rest where it is. It's safe, it's secure. You can check on it, certainly, but no need to overspend, no need to get freaked out. There may not be anything additional coming in. That's okay. It's number 4, right? Things are stable. You're okay. I'm not going to go on too long about that. It's pretty clear. All right, let's look at what's going on behind the scenes for Virgo during this time frame around your career and money, your career, sense of purpose, and possibly your money, which is kind of what's going on behind the scenes. And we're going to close out your reading, Virgo. The Fool. And then we have the Four of Swords again. A time of rest. I'm only looking at these in the upright position here. What's going on behind the scenes is under the deck, again, a feeling of just resting, just letting things be. There's healing around your money, healing around the situation. You're stable, you're secure, you're coming out of the difficulties with those 6s. And what's going on behind the scenes? We have the 8 of Raphael, the 8 of Cups, right? Moving on, a spiritual quest, going towards something, leaving something behind. And then what's really happening behind the scenes? We have the Fool, a brand new beginning. Go easy. It's all happening. It may not all happen in April, but it's certainly in process here. The Fool is a beautiful energy. We see here he's sort of blithely going towards the volcano. Well, we can consider what's going on in the world right now kind of like a volcanic eruption, like everything just went like the tower moment. But he's free, he's easy. I use a he because it's represented here as a male, but that's what, it's about faith, about having trust. So trust that everything's happening as it's meant to. Go easy. There is a sort of restful period that's supposed to be occurring for a reason, sort of a timeout energy, so you can reassess. Take charge of the situation. Doesn't mean that you're meant to go out there and exert all your energy. It means that you're meant to take charge of whatever's present in the moment. I feel tired. I'm going to rest. That is taking charge of the situation rather than continually or perennially overgiving, right? You have to feel your way through this, Virgo. There's no map here. This is a general reading, so you're going to have to feel what feels right for you. But take charge of the situation. Again, the mind tends to say the situation is what's happening in the world. Suddenly you're in a place of feeling stressed. It's not about what's happening in the world. Take charge of this, whatever situation is present for you. I can't stress that enough. Okay, you may want to listen to this reading again because there's a lot of messages in here. And again, maybe also look at your Sun, Moon, Rising readings. So, all right, I hope that you found that helpful, Virgo. I wish you much love as always, and I'll talk to you soon.